Chapter 1. The glow of my phone lit up my face in the dark attic as I scrolled through the app store before bed. I couldn't sleep, too wired from all the sugar I'd snuck from the Halloween candy bowl downstairs. Mom would kill me if she knew how much I'd eaten. My thumb paused over a new app called Spirit Chat. Communicate with real ghosts, the description promised. I glanced behind me instinctively, half expecting to see a ghostly apparition hovering in the shadows of my room. My attic bedroom always kinda creeped me out at night, the way the wind howled outside and the old wood slats creaked and groaned. But it was the perfect atmosphere for my fascination with the paranormal that had started at age 10 when my grandfather died. Where did his spirit go? I was obsessed with finding out. I downloaded the Spirit Chat app and opened it up. The screen prompted me to allow access to my camera, microphone, location and more. Seemed invasive, but I agreed, too curious to care. The app generated a fuzzy static sound as it connected me. Text appeared on the screen, and I nearly dropped my phone. Hi, my name is Emily. Chapter 2. My fingers shook as I typed back a reply. I'm Tom. Are you really a ghost? The app chimed, yes, I died 5 years ago. I'm so lonely being stuck here. Will you talk with me? This was incredible. I was communicating with a real ghost. I felt sad imagining how lonely she must feel if she was trapped here. Of course, I'd be happy to talk, I messaged back. For the next 2 hours Emily and I talked about everything, her family, friends, how much she missed laughing and sunshine. She couldn't recall how she died, just that it was painful. I told her about my school and hobbies, which she thought sounded cool. It was nice to have someone interested in me for a change. Dawn was breaking by the time we said goodnight. Emily made me promise to chat with her again tomorrow. I agreed immediately. I didn't have many friends at school. The living ones anyway. Chapter 3. I started every night talking to Emily, messaging her during my classes on the sly when I could. My grades slipped and I stopped hanging out with the few living friends I had, but it didn't matter. Emily was the only one who understood me. She needed me and I needed her. One night she confessed why she was so lonely. She was tethered to Hastings High where we attended school and couldn't leave the grounds. Her spirit was trapped there. I got chills realizing she had been so close all this time. She asked if I could come to the school at night so we could meet face to face. I snuck out that very night. Chapter 4. The moon cast an eerie glow on the empty school parking lot as I approached the darkened building. It was close to midnight. Emily said she would meet me by the lacrosse field out back. I crept along the side of the building, my heart pounding. This was crazy, but I had to see Emily for real. The lights suddenly flashed on the field, blinding me. I heard a girl's voice cry out, "Tom." Spinning around, I saw a petite blonde girl in a white dress standing on the field, her arms outstretched. Emily. She looked just like her photo. I ran towards her, but when I tried to hug her my arms grasped only freezing cold air. I stumbled, looking at her ghostly form. "It's really you," I whispered in awe. Her blue eyes sparkled with excitement to see me. We sat together on the field all night as she told me more about her memories and I filled her in on everything she had missed being gone. As the first light appeared, I promised I would return tomorrow night. Chapter 5. I started sneaking out every night to see Emily, not caring if I was exhausted at school the next day. My parents had no idea, they never checked on me. My living friends gave up on me, frustrated I only wanted to talk about Emily and ghosts. I didn't care. The spirit world mattered more to me now. Emily was my best friend, my ghostly confidant. Sometimes other spirits would appear on the field too, lurking in the shadows. Emily said they were jealous I could still interact with the living. One night Emily asked if I would stay overnight at the school so we wouldn't have to part at dawn. I hesitantly agreed, reluctant to spend the night in the creepy building but unable to deny her. I had to find a way to be with her always. Chapter 6. That night I pretended to go to bed as usual, then snuck out once my parents were asleep. Emily met me by the back door of the school, which she supernaturally opened for me. The interior was dark and eerie at night. We went to the library where I had a flashlight and snacks stashed in my backpack. Emily delighted in reading and dancing by moonlight filtering through the tall windows. Her laughter rang out in the cavernous room. But as dawn approached, she became sullen. I promised I would come back again soon for another sleepover. She only looked at me sadly, saying she wished we could stay here together forever. I awoke the next night in the nurse's office, my head pounding. A teacher loomed over me, demanding to know why I was there. I had no memory of anything after promising to stay with Emily forever. Chapter 7. Over the next week, more strange gaps in my memory occurred. I would find myself someplace, the hall, gym, cafeteria, with no clue how I got there. It was like I was sleepwalking, or something was controlling me. At home, weird things started happening too. Lights flickered, doors slammed, objects moved on their own. I begged Emily for answers, but she claimed ignorance. My parents were freaked out and asked if I was pulling pranks. But it had to be Emily. Why was she haunting me? One night I awoke to find her ghostly form weeping at the foot of my bed. She looked more solid than before. She wailed about being lonely and wanting me to be with her. I tried to comfort her, but my hands passed right through her. "Please come away with me," she cried. I didn't know what to say. I cared about her, but this was going too far. Chapter 8. I avoided Emily for days, refusing to use the Spirit Chat app. My phone screen kept glitching with static and I heard whispers from unseen entities. But I couldn't give in. Strange incidents continued plaguing the house, books flying off shelves, lights exploding, footsteps creaking up the attic stairs when no one was there. I wanted to move out, but my parents insisted I was imagining things. Late one night as I huddled under my blankets, lightning flashed outside. My window banged open and a cold blast of air swept into the room along with leaves and dirt from outside. I screamed as Emily's ghostly form crawled through the window, her eyes wild. "Why are you ignoring me?" Her voice sounded inhuman. "We're supposed to be together forever. Come with me." She grabbed my wrist, her icy fingers burning my skin. I shouted for help, but no one came as she dragged me towards the window. Chapter 9. Blinding pain seared through my body as Emily pulled me halfway out the window. I thrashed desperately, yelling myself hoarse. Her grip was inhumanly strong. Looking down, I saw a vortex of spirits swirling outside my house, ghostly hands reaching up towards me as they moaned in anguish. This had been Emily's plan all along, to join me to her in the spirit world forever. With my last ounce of strength I twisted away from her grasp, tumbling back into my room. My hand closed around a golf club I kept by my bed and I swung it wildly. It passed through Emily, but she recoiled, her form shimmering. "Leave me alone," I shouted. "I won't join you." Her eyes filled with rage and agony. "You promised to stay with me forever." "I just want a friend." "Not like this," I cried. "Now go." Wailing, her spirit vanished, the window slamming shut behind her. I grabbed my phone to destroy the Spirit Chat app once and for all. Chapter 10. My hands shook as I frantically deleted Spirit Chat. Emily's ghostly visage flashed across my screen, pointing at me accusingly before the app disappeared. Suddenly, my phone began blowing up with news alerts. A girl's remains had been found at the lake by my house. Dental records identified her as Emily Sands, a student who went missing 5 years ago after a party in the woods. So that's how she died. It wasn't murder after all. just a tragic accident. And I had been foolish enough to believe a demonic entity pretending to be her spirit. Now that I had severed contact, I prayed Emily's real soul could rest in peace at last. But it wasn't over. That night my bedroom door creaked open. There stood Emily's ghost, head cocked unnaturally to the side, oozing black ichor from empty eye sockets. "We'll be together now," she rasped. "Forever." The apparition shot towards me as I screamed. Then everything went black. When I awoke I was floating above my lifeless body. Emily embraced me with bony arms. I tried to pull away but her grip was iron. "Isn't this better?" she crooned. "Now we'll never be apart." I wept spectral tears, floating alongside her through the house. My parents discovered my corpse the next morning, but could not see my spirit tethered eternally to my demonic ghostly companion. There was no app to blame anymore. Just an endless nightmare from which I could never awaken again. With Emily by my side. Forever.